Okay, let's start. Good evening, everyone here. I welcome everyone here to this wonderful program through Praagna. Mm. Women empowerment is a big issue in today's world. We think that women um, are not strong enough. This was a belief for a few years, but this is not the truth. Women are equally responsible, women are equally powerful, women are equally talented when it comes to financial resources. We can see it in, every household, how women are so smart that even whatever they get from their in their families, whatever their income is, they always have something hidden in the dabba also somewhere. There is always a part of money hidden in the dabbas, and some I have seen many of the ladies in my families I have seen are very smart and they have invested in different fields. We generally invest in gold, we generally invest in property, but and we always put our money in FD, and whatever the sources we know. But is this the right thing? This is what we are going to learn today from Ms. Richa Sinha. Yes, so Richa Sinha is a wonderful lady who has been uh, into all these stock markets, and she's been experimenting in her own way in different fields. And with now today and in the coming session, she's going to share with us lot of her experiences. She's not just investor. She's also an image consultant. She's also founder of She Wealth, and she is also into many programs related to finance. And today I welcome her to this program. Praagna is so proud to associate with you, and we really appreciate your time and your uh, efforts you're putting into this program to make this more, what do you say? Praagna is working towards not just nature, culture, also education, and women empowerment is one thing we are also concentrating on. And so, thank you, Richa, for joining us, and um, I welcome you here, and now I request you to please take over. And about Praagna, I will be very happy to share about Praagna at the end of the session. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sridivya. It has been a pleasure knowing you all this while. You're, not just professionally associated. You're a great friend, and I love having conversations with you. And the very fact that I got an opportunity to collaborate with Praagna has been such an honor. So I'm very glad to be speaking to this audience of great women that you have. Okay, so a little bit about what we're doing here today. Um, first of all, I must congratulate the people who are on this call right now because, honestly, you could have been anywhere this afternoon. You could be doing anything else, but you chose to be here. That really speaks about your commitment for your money lives, and I respect that. Now, my commitment to you is that in the next 1 hour, I will provide value to you. I will help you learn certain things that will take you, at least help you initiate your journey towards financial freedom. So are you ready? You might want to have a pen and paper handy because there will be certain things you might want to keep note of. We will also have a Q&A session towards the end, so you can keep noting down your questions, and then we will be happy to have an interactive session on that. So I will also share a small presentation that will help you with content so that you can keep taking screenshots as I speak because it helps for a later reference. So just give me 1 second.
Yeah, also we are recording this session so that it can be available for anybody who's interested, and it will be uploaded on our website. This free session will be uploaded on our website. Anybody who's interested,
Right.
go through this.
Okay. Thank you. So, like Sridhavya mentioned, I represent She Wealth. I founded it to help women take charge of their financial lives. There are money courses, investment courses that we run, and all of these are specifically meant for Indian women. Let me set a context for you first. So you know what to expect over the next 1 hour here. We will learn how to build a money magnet mindset, because money is all about attracting wealth, and attracting abundance is what we must seek. We will talk about a few concepts like inflation. We hear about it so often, but is your money really growing? We'll take a look at your own current investments and see if it is really growing. How do you make 1 crore in 15 years? It sounds so fancy. We'll talk about the power of compounding. It is not such a big deal. Then we will talk about the most important thing, which are the 5 steps how you can really start your investment journey. Because we all know theory, we all know about money and investment. But what are those 5 things that you need to do today so that you can start this? And then, of course, we have an interactive Q&A session. A little about me, besides what Praagna mentioned. So I have about 20 years of investing and corporate experience. I have been an entrepreneur. However, my financial journey has been through a lot of ups and downs. Over the last 20 years that I've been investing, I have transformed from being a non-investor to being a very enthusiastic investor, to somebody who's made a lot of mistakes, lost a lot of money, to somebody who's now an educated and a conscious investor. I've had bad experiences, good experiences with people, with financial advisors and brokers. But finally, I met people who taught me how to plan, how to invest, and that really transformed my life, my relationships, my finances. And that really is what I am here, and I wish for each one of you on the call. She Wealth is an online financial education platform, and we have a lot of courses on investing, which the main aim is that we want to simplify money matters. It is a no jargon, no complicated terminologies kind of a session, because I understand that finances is something we've all been very scared of growing up, because we've never learned finances in school, colleges, never talked about it with our parents while growing up. So it is something that we fear, and that is what I want to remove from this entire concept. It is such great joy to see your money grow, and that is what through She Wealth, I aim to do. These are a few places you can connect with us for anything. You can take advantage of a lot of our free resources. So you might just want to take a screenshot of this and keep that for later reference. Now, I shared a video this afternoon. I'm not sure how many of you took a look at it, but after the session, it'll be a good idea to just go and watch the video once again. It talks about how men and women have been taught to differently handle finances. How women, after a point, despite being financially independent, they stop investing. They stop thinking about money. They let the men in their lives take lead, even if it is their own money that they are earning. Finance is not a gender role. It is just common sense and a set of systems that can be learned, and all of us must learn. It is a life skill. It is a survival skill. Now, I want to just interact with some of you, and I want to learn. I want to understand what is your motivation to be here for this call. In the chat box, you could just write, what is it that brings you here? What are your financial goals that bring you here for this session? What are you looking to understand or learn? Can we have some responses on the chat box? Do we have? All right. So these could be, these could be anything from uh, buying a house, buying a car, planning annual holidays. Your financial goals could be anything. They could be as big as planning for your retirement or your children's education. But what are the challenges? Because clearly there are challenges because of which you have not been able to do or plan for your goals. What are those challenges? Typically, these are challenges people face in terms of not knowing where to invest, not knowing what the options available to them are. You might have lack of education. You might not know the platforms that you can use. So knowledge is a big issue. We just have an hour here, but we can at least take the first step towards moving in the right direction. A few concepts, like we said, we will talk about today are how to look at your existing investments and see if they are the correct investments. How can you really compound your investing and create great corpus for your big financial goals? So the first thing is inflation. What do you think is inflation? It's basically two things: rising prices and the reducing value of money. If I could just take you through one quick Excel sheet, it says that the current rate of inflation is 7%. So anything that you can buy for 1 lakh rupees today, suppose, after 10 years, you will need at least 2 lakhs to buy the same thing. That is what inflation is. The other way to look at inflation is that the reducing power of money or the reducing value of money. So if something 1 lakh today, after 10 lakhs would be worth just about half the amount. So that is how much inflation affects your investments and our lives in general. Let's look at an example. We have a broker who comes to you. We've all faced people like these. And he says, "Ki ma'am, let's invest. You invest 1 lakh per annum for 10 years. And after that, no investment is required for the next 10 years. Now, after 20 years, you will get 22 lakh rupees. It is more than doubling. Over 10 years, you've invested 10 lakhs, but now you're getting 22 lakhs. Great scheme. Haven't we all heard of this? Is this a good scheme? Should you invest in this? Now, as an intelligent investor, let's quickly go back to the same sheet. 22 lakhs. If I put this figure here, after 20 years, how much is that worth? It is only about 5 lakhs worth of money. So what you've done, you have invested 10 lakhs over 10 years, and after 20 years, you're getting a sum of money, which at that point will be roughly 5 lakh rupees. 22 lakhs is not the real money that you are earning. So this is not a great scheme to invest in. We also come across a lot of people who say that we have our investments planned and we've invested in great instruments, and for our retirement we will have about 1 crore. So that is the kind of planning we've done. Now retirement, which is 20 years away, is 1 crore really 1 crore then? No. The value of 1 crore will be even less than 25 lakhs. Now, 25 lakhs is not enough for a retired person with medical expenses and long lives. So we have to start factoring in inflation into our calculations and then look at our investments. So what you should do after this session is that you go back to your investments, look at the places where you've invested money, when these things are maturing and how much you're getting. And then with a simple formula, you try and see if it is beating inflation. If not, this is not the right investment for you. But my intention is not to scare you here. It's a very simple solution. Invest in options that beat inflation. So inflation, as set by the government today, is 7%. Any investment option that gives you more than 7% return is something that is beating inflation, which means your money is actually growing in value. The next concept, power of compounding. Just let's go back to our school days. Compound interest. We all remember that from high school. What are the factors that are important here? Your amount grows exponentially. If you look at the N here, N means number of years that you are invested. So the longer you stay invested in something, the greater the corpus, or the greater the amount of money that you will get. Quickly, if I just take you through one Excel sheet. Amount invested per month. Suppose I invest 15,000 per month, which is 1,80,000 per annum. I invested in something which gives me 15% rate of return. All right. And I stay invested for 15 years. Now, this amount, it is over 1 crore. Now, it is that simple. When you join this course, you will be getting a lot of these calculators that will help you plan your investments so that you know exactly how much you need to invest. Maybe I cannot invest 15,000. Okay, I will invest 10,000. Maybe my return is not 15%. Maybe it is only 12%. All right. So this is how much maybe I need to stay invested a little longer. All right. So with 10,000 at 12% rate of return, I can still make a crore. But then that means I have to stay invested a little longer. Now, if you keep playing around with this template, you'll be able to figure out what is your comfort level in terms of investing, what is your time horizon, and what are your financial goals. How to create wealth. Now, there are basically 3 ways to create wealth. If you think of any wealthy person, somebody you might know in your friend circle or family, or even people that you hear about, businessmen who are, say, an Ambani or Adani. Wealthy people become wealthy by majorly one of these 3 things. Either they have their own business, or they are very heavily invested in property or real estate, or they are great investors in equity. Equity means mutual funds or stocks. At any point, if anybody has any questions, you can please put them in the chat box and we will take that up towards the end of the session. Okay, just to check a little about how you are investing your money as of now. How much rate of return do you think you are earning by keeping your money in your savings account, pure savings account, any bank, SBI, ICICI, any bank?
6 to 7%.
You can put that in the chat box.
Around 6 to 7%.
All right. So that is okay. So when you leave your money in your savings account, you earn just about 3 to 4%, not more than that. When you put your money in fixed deposits, you earn about 5.5%, 5 to 6% roughly in that range. The rate of return has really reduced over the years. It used to be 9-10% rate of interest about some years back, but now it is just about 5%. Anybody who's generating more than 8% return on their investments, if fixed deposit or recurring deposit or keeping money in the bank, if these are your primary modes of investment, then you are definitely not going beyond 6%. Inflation today is 7%. So which means over the long run, your money is not growing. It is in fact degrowing. It is becoming lesser and lesser in value as the years go by. So what do you do? How do you create wealth? We know all of these. We know what the problems are, but there is a solution. There are action steps that you need to take. One is that you have to resolve to start. You need to start. Now, tell me, how many of us have known these things? How many of us know that yes, we need to invest money, and we need to make so much return on our investment. This is how it has to be done. There are stocks, there are mutual funds, there is gold, there is real estate. We all know. But why are we still here? Because we have probably not started. And why have we not started? Because maybe we've not learned. We don't know where to start. We don't know how much to invest, where to invest. Okay, let's do a quick case study. Let's say there is, I give you a little information about a company. Let's say there's a 30-year-old business. It is 1 crore in debt, which means it has a loan from the bank of 1 crore. And it has not been making profit. Now, with this information, do you think you will invest your money in this company? That's the only information you have. The company is in debt, it is not making profit, it is a 30-year-old business. Will you invest your money in a company like this? Yes or no? You can keep typing your responses in the chat box. Exactly. So the obvious answer is no, because you see that it is under debt, it is not making profit. So what have you done? You have just learned how to pick a stock. Now, stock investing is not such a big deal. It is not complicated. It is common sense. This is a business and this is the information provided to you. You will not invest in it. And you have, without knowing, you have applied methods to analyze a stock. Now, these are exactly what we will teach you when you enroll for the courses. That brings me to the third important thing, how to build an investor attitude. Who is a great investor? Somebody who's willing to learn, first of all. Patience, because you need to be patient, you need to be invested for the long run. Because only then, remember we talked about the power of compounding. So the more number of years you stay invested in, the more returns you generate on your investment. And you need discipline, which means you need to be very regular at it. It's not like today I got a bonus of 1 lakh and I have invested that, and then for the next 6 months I've forgotten everything. It has to be a monthly investment. It has to be regular. Only if it is regular, you will be able to really build great corpus in the long run. Then find a mentor. Like, when I talked about my own journey, I spent about 20 years learning how to manage finance and figuring out, making mistakes. The moment I really learned was when I found some people who taught me how to plan, how to make a financial plan, how to look at my goals, how to choose investment options and then invest my money. So if I had found these people earlier, maybe I would have started my investment journey so much earlier. Now that is what I want you to not go through. I want you to be able to learn through somebody else's mistake. You don't have to always make all mistakes yourself. Sometimes it is good to find somebody who can teach you something. It will shorten your learning curve. And then build a community. Because that is something I realized the importance of. Finance as such, it is considered a very lonely journey. It is just you and your money, but it doesn't have to be that way. If you have like-minded people with you, around you, you will be that much more disciplined, that much more excited about learning and growing in your journey. There's a saying that says that you are an average of the 5 people around you. So if you surround yourself with people who are educated, who are financially aware, who are investing, who are learning, imagine the kind of how this will rub off on you. You are going to become one of those people. Now, any questions that you have? This was a little about, a little background about where we are. Any questions that you have, and I'll be very happy to answer those. Anything which is specifically that you want to know? Okay. So, generally the type of questions that crop up are, where do I invest? Now, where do I invest? Perhaps, we should think a little differently. It is not where you should invest, it is what you are investing for. So you have your financial goals. Now, once you have your financial goals very clearly in your head, you know the time horizon when you will need these amounts. And that is how you will select the kind of options. Because if you have a longer time horizon, you have the ability to take higher risk, because you know that in the long run, the market always grows. So learn about your financial goals, identify them, and look at your time horizons, and then you think of the investment options. Now, okay, the other question could be, how do I generate high returns with low risk? Again, your risk, your investments are as safe as you are educated, honestly. If you understand your time horizons, if you understand your goals and the amount of money you need, and at what time in life, that is how you will be able to either invest in high risk options like maybe stocks, or if you have an immediate need, which is say, next year you need a large sum of money, then you will invest in safer instruments or debt instruments. How does one create a secure investment portfolio? Or, how, okay. So the next favorite question is, how do you create a well-diversified, balanced portfolio? We all want to do that. We want to have a financial plan, and we want to have a financial portfolio, an investment portfolio. Now, what is a portfolio? A portfolio basically means it is a plan where you have invested in 5, 6, 7 different types of instruments. Now, what could these be? Broadly, your financial instruments are debt or equity. Debt would mean something like fixed deposits, so Kanya Samriddhi Yojana, PPF, or debt mutual funds. Equity means something which is linked with the market, so stocks or mutual funds. There are other options like gold. Now, gold again is not something you have to keep in physical form, or gold jewelry really is not the greatest form of investment, because when you want to sell that, you will not get the exact amount of gold, because you will see that you're making charges, and there are a lot of other things that get deducted. So you invest in digital gold, there are gold bonds that you invest in. Then, of course, there is real estate that used to be a very popular investment options for people in the past. In the last 5, 6 years, the real estate industry all over India has not been growing so much, so it has kind of lost on popularity. Uh, the other option also these days is cryptocurrency. It's a very volatile, very risky thing, but well, there are people who want to take that risk because there is a potentially very high reward that could be there. So yeah, you should know about the various options that are available in the market, and then you look at your needs, your risk appetite, and that is how you start investing. Okay, is buying a unit-linked investment policy better, or buying mutual funds better? Now, see, a unit-linked insurance policy or a ULIP or any insurance scheme, endowment plans, I'm sure you would have heard of these terms, which means that it is a life insurance plan where if something happens to me, if I die, my family gets the money, but if I don't die after a certain time, I get guaranteed returns. So there are different kinds of things available in the market. But in my opinion, you should always keep insurance and investment separate. So you keep insurance only for as a pure term life insurance, and then you invest in mutual funds, or you invest in stocks, or you invest in debt instruments. There are so many options available. So how do I learn or how do I research? So, going back to the last slide where I talked about, you should learn, you should start your journey, you should learn, you should research. Now, where do you do that? There are two ways. One, of course, is Google. You go there, you keep typing things. How do I invest? How do I do financial planning? Um, you will get a host of answers, and you can maybe try and figure out. You keep asking yourself the right questions about what your goals are, how much you want to invest, where you want to invest, and then probably make sense of all the information that is available on the internet, and then you create your strategy. The second option, a quicker, a much faster option, is to join courses. So what happens when you join courses is that you move faster. You shorten your learning curve. Instead of making a lot of hit and trial mistakes, you know the ways that work, and then you start investing accordingly. Now, do you think there is more to learn? So, because we have limited time today, and there's so much to know. There is so much more to learn. Because do we all not agree that if we don't take any action, we are only going to repeat the past? We have all known there is no rocket science that in investment. Honestly, we all know that if we invest, what happens if we don't invest? Maybe I've had some people who were sitting on the fence for 10 years. Now imagine if they had really started investing 10 years earlier, how much financially independent or free they would have been today. So by not taking any action, we are actually losing the part of time, which is such a big factor when it comes to investing your money. So this program that we have, it is called Financial Fitness for Women, specifically for women, like I've mentioned. This talks about building financial fitness habits, because money is all about building habits. This is going to be a personal finance blueprint. It is going to contain a lot of actionable steps, a step-by-step guide on how to implement the learnings. Because learning is a very easy thing. You can Google and you can find a lot of information online. But how do you implement? Where do you invest? How do you invest? How do you log in? How do you create a demat account? There's so many small questions that we don't know. So it is going to be a very actionable and real-time investment-oriented course. It is a fail-proof system, and the only way this method will fail is if you don't take action. Yeah. So the entire course is designed, because it is not designed to give you theory. It is not designed to just tell you what are the things available. It is not a copy paste from any website. These are action steps that will help you start. And during the course, you will actually be investing. So if today you are somebody who has never invested in a mutual fund, suppose, or you've never bought a health insurance scheme for yourself, during the course of this 1 month, you will be able to do all of those. This is a very detailed course curriculum. You might want to take a screenshot so that you know what you will expect from the financial fitness course. It will take you in depth through a lot of concepts, and towards the end, you will create your own well-diversified investment portfolio, not just on paper, not just on computer. You will have started investing. You will see, you will make your investments during the course. Of course, there are a lot of free resources and templates and calculators, like a few that I shared with you, that you will have many downloadable handouts and study material for later reference, because yeah, there are times when you want to just look back and see what we've learned and revise. How do you benefit? Of course, it is a life skill, and this value that you will gain by investing 9 hours of your life is going to benefit you all through your life. You are not only going to benefit your own self, but also help your family come through and become financially aware and make intelligent choices in life. You will, if you are somebody who lives from one paycheck to another, by the time it is 25th of the month, you are left with no money. You will come out of that habit. You will, if you are somebody who has a lot of debt or you are under a lot of loan, you will be able to figure out how to become debt free. You will increase your savings. I've had people in the past who have increased their savings by 25 to 50%, and that is huge. You will have clarity on your financial goals. You will be able to very clearly see your important milestones that you will go through as a person over a lifespan, and you will be able to plan for all of those, from your children's birth to education to wedding to your retirement to regular holidays you want to plan, to buying cars and houses, all of that. You will learn financial planning, and make and choosing investment options. You will first of all learn what are the options available to you, and then how to make those choices. And then you will learn how to really pick out of a host of 10 insurance schemes, how do you pick one? Out of those 200 mutual funds, how do you pick those 4 or 5 funds which are the best? What are those steps? What are those parameters that you have to evaluate? And then, of course, the biggest high of the course is that you start investing. You really truly become an investor now. So this comes with 9 live classes, and all classes you'll also be getting recorded sessions. Each class is going to cover very important financial topics. You will, because these are live classes, you will have the benefit of learning from, of course, from me and your other batchmates on the session. So you learn through self-learning, you learn from a coach teaching you, and you learn from peer group. You will obviously have unlimited access to me to answer all your doubts and queries and to handhold you throughout this entire process. You will have, every week you'll be given practice sheets or homeworks, and you'll be expected to complete those exercises and share them, and you will get proper feedback on all of your activities, so that every step of the way you are really coached and handheld and you're given feedback. There'll be a lot of free resources in terms of ebooks and Excel templates and resources that I will be sharing with you. There will be real-time opportunities where we will all be logging in and actually investing, which is what we ultimately want to do because we are learning personal finance. Then you will be part of a women investor group. There's a group that you could be associated with, because once some of you might have attended other online courses in the past. What happens is that while the course is going on, everything is great, we enjoy, we learn a lot, but the moment the course ends, that is when we again go back into where we were. We forget what we've learned. Now, that is what I wanted to address by introducing a community. So, which means that even after the course is completed, you have a community of investors like you, people like you who attended the course. And then there's continued learning. There are monthly meetups, online meetups, there are studies, there are case studies going on. So there is a lot of revision and revision of concepts that you've learned, or learning new things from people who are around you and investing. Now that is pretty much what I wanted to share with you. Uh, of course, these are, we all know who this person is. He's given some great investment advice, and it helps to every now and then just keep going back to what Warren Buffett has said about investing and earning and taking risks. So I hope with that I have shared a lot about myself, my uh, the organization I represent, and of course the course that we will take you through. I truly hope that you derived you got value from this session today. Let me know in the chat box if you think just type a yes and tell me if you really there was something you learned today. And the most important thing, because 1 hour we all understand is a very short period of time to really create a difference. But did I leave you with clarity on what action you need to take to start your investment journey? That is the important question to ask. And if you think you got that from the session, I think this time was well spent. And we have the course available. It is starting on 2nd of September. We have it twice every week. So throughout September, you'll be taken through 1 hour session for 9 days, and by the end of it, you definitely come out an investor, an intelligent, aware, and conscious investor. So, thank you for your time. And I will be happy if there is anything else that you want to talk about, or if Sridhavya can just share the course details on the group, payment links, or just about the course. You can register yourselves, and I'll hope to see you in class.
The audience to put on their videos and the ladies here to put on their videos and discuss with us. And I would be very happy to see your questions and if we can get the questions on. The, so,
Okay, sorry, Sridhavya, I lost your voice. And, because my screen was shared, I could not see the chat box earlier, but I will.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody's asking about the course. Um, the course details are in the website. So the moment you log out, you can just have go through the details in the website. It is the course fee is going to be 9,000 rupees. This is after the offer price. We generally this course is generally costs you 22, but we are giving you at offer price now of 9,000 rupees. And yeah, there are a lot of things, we learned today. So quite one thing was like, one thing I learned is you don't need to always invest in FD, right? That is FD or savings account. They're not so very, what do you say? They're not, my money is not earning money there. So that is one thing I really learned today. And the other thing is, it's not right to invest in one place. We have to have multiple places where we can invest, and that is how we will grow. So
Yeah.
this is one thing.
Yeah,
It's
I see another question.
yeah.
Uh,
Take the
how
question.
and where to invest? I don't want to put all my eggs in one basket. So exactly the same sentiments. You should never invest in the same basket. Uh, so, which is why it is so important to have a well diversified portfolio, which means there are different options. You invest in equity, which means you invest in mutual funds and stocks. You invest in debt, which means you have some PPF, Sukanya Samriddhi Yojana. There are a lot of government schemes. You should also have some amount, 50% of your total investment amount in terms of gold, maybe as sovereign gold bond, because gold is considered a very good hedge for your investments. It is considered. It has been seen that whenever the stock market goes down, gold prices go up. So that is why it is called hedge. You should always have some element of gold in your portfolio. And then, of course, if you are somebody who, if say you're younger, or even if doesn't matter what age you are, but if you are somebody who has a high risk appetite, play with maybe 5% as crypto, because why not? It's a new thing. It is volatile. Yes, it is volatile. There are not enough regulations around it, but the technology on which it is based, the blockchain technology on which it is based, is absolutely very fundamental to this entire process. So you should be aware of the options, and then you choose. So you should be aware of the options. You should know what your financial goals are, what age and stage in life are you at, what is the time horizon that you have, and then you look at the how much risk you should be taking with your investment. If, say, if I'm 40 years old and I will retire after 20 years, 20 years is a long period. So for my retirement fund, I will invest in equity, I will take risk. So it is advisable that you invest in stock option, if you invest in stocks and mutual funds, because they will give you high returns in the long term. But if suppose my child is going to say college in 2 years time, now I cannot invest in equity, because what if the market suddenly goes down? So they say that a market has a cycle of 7 years. So every 7 years, if you look at the stock market over the last 100 years, every 7 years it goes up and down. So if I have a goal, my child's education, college education in 2 years, I will not invest in stocks because it is very risky then. So then I will look at maybe debt options or something like that. So based on your goal and your time horizon, your investment option has to be chosen. Which is why when you do a financial planning, it looks at your entire life. And that is how you plan, you identify your goals.
Richa, I have one more thing. Most of it is for the earning women. What about the homemakers? What is it you are offering for the homemakers in this course?
All right. So,
You know,
the
they don't have much investments, and they don't have a regular income, or they don't have a balanced income. It is something that they save out of their, after all they meet all the expenses at home. And yeah, so oh,
great. So that comes across as a very valid point, and a lot of homemakers have that question. In fact, I'm always so happy to have homemakers attend these courses, because they say that we don't have regular income, we don't earn. Uh, Now, how do we invest? Because my our investments are just cash money going inside the dabba, literally. Now that is not serving you any purpose. So there are two ways to look at it. One is, as a homemaker, there are, you before you start spending on different house items, your expense items, you put aside a small percent right in the beginning. If on first of the month your husband is giving you, say, 20,000 for the month, take out maybe 2,000. You really don't need a huge sum of money. So take out 2,000, take out 1,000, but take out some amount before you start spending on your grocery and your domestic help and any other thing. Take out a small amount and you start a mutual fund SIP. Now that is what. So why is mutual fund such a favorite investment option? It is because it is investing in the market, but experts are investing for you. So the risk is lowered. Now, if I am somebody who is just learning how to invest and I am not very confident right away, I will think 10 times before investing my money into something. So mutual fund SIP, which is a systematic investment plan, which means every month a small amount, and the minimum amount can be 500. So it can be as low as that. So if you can spare at least a 500 every month, you start with one mutual fund. If you can spare 1,000 or 2,000, have at least 2 or 3 mutual funds. You don't need large sum of money, because what you will see the result that you're getting, the returns that you're getting after, say, 2 years or 3 years. When you look at this amount, it will be such a significant amount just by small investment. Also, what sometimes homemakers don't realize is that uh, there are sporadic uh, occasions when you get money. Let's say it is a festival or something. So, besides your regular money, you will have some extra money. Maybe you have some elders who are coming and who are giving you some money. So, use that and keep that. So, keep that. Any bulk money, anything which is unusual or more than your normal, keep that in a debt instrument, in a debt mutual fund. What that does is it will not risk your money. Now, and it might sound very complicated when I say, okay, debt mutual fund and all that. Literally, it is nothing. If you join this course, you will learn that, okay, there are these 5 debt instruments, and okay, it is really that simple to start investing. You can put that. What it does is that it will protect your money. It will invest. It will give you returns higher than inflation, and it will not be risky because it is basically investing in government options, government schemes. So it is growing your money more than inflation. It is protecting it, and then you have your regular SIP. You have it like in an aggressive equity based mutual fund. You have aggressive options, and there you look at growing your money. So any bulk you invest in a debt fund, and every month regularly you take out a small amount and start an SIP right away. Even with 500 to spare, please, I will invite you to do that.
Yeah. And one more thing is like money mentality, that matters a lot. Like how it even before we have the money in our hand, what we think matters, how we feel matters about money. So I want you to brief us on how this money mentality is also going to be added to the course to the audience, so that they know that thinking what we feel and what we think also matters. So
Absolutely. Very, I'm glad you asked that, because, your entire investment journey or managing money, that starts from, it is a mind game. And you have to, in your mind, you have to be very convinced that, okay, this is something I want to do, or I want to create wealth for me. It is not creating money, it is not creating wealth, it is creating abundance, it is attracting abundance. So you want your life to be abundant, full of joy, full of money, full of good things, full of good relationships, everything. We also do, in the course we do something called as positive affirmations. So these are meditative. These are small exercises that you'll be taught, and you can practice them every morning. So there'll be a certain affirmation that we will jointly we'll write these affirmations, and these can be different for different people. We will write. So the first session looks at a visioning exercise in the course. It talks about where you see yourself. Forget where you are today, where you want to see yourself 2 years, 5 years, and 10 years from now. Maybe I live in a 2-bedroom house right now on rent. But in 5 years, I want to see myself living in a 4-bedroom house with a lawn. I want to do that. I don't know how I can do it, but I want to do that. So first is to, without knowing any foundations, you just create a vision for yourself, and then we write affirmations. Now, it is said, I mean, research proves that if you do something regularly, daily for 21 days, it becomes a habit. If you repeat that for 3 months, it solidifies. If you do it for 6 months, it becomes ingrained in your system and it starts manifesting. So once you start doing that, so these are meditative activities, these are affirmations that we will do, along with taking concrete steps. And in a joint fashion, all of these will help you attract abundance, because also because you will be associated and you'll be interacting with people like you who are looking at investing and creating wealth for themselves. You are surrounding yourself with positivity. And all of that really, really matters. So when collectively there are 20 people in a session who are doing something, things manifest. So, yeah. So that those are a few exercises that we also do.
So to brief it all, I would like to I would like to brief it all. So this course is going to not just include, what the textbook thing, what we learn in school, like the exercises, but also practical applicability of it in the market. How we going to practically, invest and learn from all that. And before we make mistakes, we have a guide, we have a coach who's going to put us on the right path. So a lot of her experience of so many years, more than 2 decades, is going to help us uh, invest in the right places and the right way. And also it is not about just classes and exercises, it's also about manifestations and affirmations. So this whole course is not about growing, uh, investing in the right way or just growing financially. It's about overall well-being, because once finance, money is like blood. Just like blood is essential for the body, finance is economy is very essential for the whole society and the nation and our home also. So this way, what is going to happen is we are not going to be just financially good, but ultimately overall happiness is what we look forward to. And as a woman, what happens is you're not working for yourself, just yourself, but you will, whatever you do, any woman, whatever she does is for her whole family. So it affects the whole family because she's the anchor of the house. As long as she is strong, the whole house is strong. And whenever anybody needs anything at home, they go to the woman of the house. So be the one. And I request everyone to take a step forward on being financially strong, not just financially strong, but overall growth. And I
Yeah,
think that's what we want to convey through this
yes,
program. Yes. Anything else?
absolutely.
Anything else we need to add, Richa?
No, I think we've covered everything. You've summed it up very beautifully, and that is what we hope. I mean, people take value from this because it is all there. We're ready to help you with all that we know, and these are implementable real life things. It is important to all of us. I mean, whether we like it or not, talking about money is not a bad thing. Investing in money is not, I mean, it is something so crucial for our general overall well-being and happiness. So take that step forward, and help not only yourself but your entire family, because maybe we expect the men in the house to do everything. Maybe sometimes even they need help. Maybe they also don't know, but they're
Great.
expected to just do it. So poor things. I mean, even if they don't know something, they have to figure out a way to just manage.
I love the way you put it. Poor things. No, that is women empowerment. It's not the women who are the poor things all the time.
Yeah.
I'm used with women, and now you put it for the men, and I'm really happy, very happy to hear that.
So well, more power to women.
Me too. So yeah,
Yes.
I request anybody from the audience, if you want to put on your videos and discuss anything or ask questions, we'll be very happy. Anybody? There is Shireen, I guess. Is there anything you want to discuss or ask?
Yeah, hi. I would like to know how long the classes are going to be for 1 hour once a week, or how is it?
So these will be 1 hour twice a week. So every session is 1 hour, and
Mm-hmm.
on Wednesdays and Fridays, starting
Okay.
second of September. So Wednesday, Friday, 9 classes. So throughout September, we'll be having these 1 hour uh,
Yeah.
sessions twice a week.
All
And
right,
this
got it.
sessions
And
are going to be
also,
like more of a, what do you say? It'll be from our end, but you will have at least 3 to 4 hours of work for yourself after the session. So this learning is not just 1 hour learning in a 1 hour session. but it will be like, your continued efforts matter in that
Right.
after the session.
Yeah. So
Got
every
it.
week there will be assignments, small assignments, simple things that you need to just go back, spend maybe another 1 hour, half an hour to gather your things. Because so what we're also teaching you is it's not like we are starting from a zero base. Some of us, I mean, most of us will have some money invested somewhere. So right from seeing where we are currently to thinking about things to maybe filling up some sheets, figuring out, writing down our goals. So a lot of activities that you will do during class, and a few of them that you will be doing at home after class, and you will be given feedback on everything on how you invest, or how you're going ahead.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And are you going to be teaching stocks or mutual funds, gold bonds, crypto, everything together, or
Okay.
are you just focusing on?
So this first session, the course that we're talking about right now, is a beginner level course for somebody who wants to start their journey. So there are 3 levels of courses. There's a beginner, intermediate, and advanced. For the beginner level, we have complete financial planning. We have insurance. We have we cover mutual funds, not in great depth, but we'll teach you how to look at mutual funds and how to invest in them, and how to create a well balanced, diversified portfolio. So there'll be gold bonds, there'll be so there'll be gold bonds. You will have your debt instruments, all the government schemes that are available, so that you are aware of what these are. The second level, which is the intermediate level, is a mutual fund mastery course, which again, which will deep dive into mutual fund investment. So there we will do a lot of in-depth study into various types of mutual funds, Indian and international funds, how to invest in them, how to compare funds, and what are those financial parameters that we need to look at, and then you pick and choose the best funds that suit you based on your goals. The third advanced level is a stock investing course, where we look at purely stocks. Now, these are for people who have already started their financial journey, who have, I would expect them to have invested in mutual funds and other debt instruments already, if they are now moving to stocks. So here we will look at analyzing companies and then selecting stocks based on certain parameters. What are the resources that we need to look at? How do you analyze these financial figures? Because again, all of these are very simple. I mean, once you do it for one company, you know how to do it for 500 other companies. And then you learn how to look at data to identify these good stocks. So that, and then again, Indian and international. So sitting here, how you can invest in a Google or a Microsoft or Amazon. So all of that. And both the stocks and the mutual fund will also take you through what are the platforms available where you can start investing. Because you need a platform to be investing. Where do you invest? Because it's
Yeah.
not a pen and paper thing. So what are those websites or apps or financial platforms available that make it very easy for you to invest and track your investment? So these are the 3 courses right now.
Okay. Thank you so much for the information.
Yeah.
One last question. Would these classes be in the evening or during the daytime?
The class timings are 11:30 to 12:30 morning, weekday.
Oh, okay. All right.
Definitely, the students, we can always reschedule the timings. We can
Okay.
always reschedule the timings depending on the student requirement. That is, the whole group has to agree to it.
In fact,
How many
Shweta,
students would
I
be
was
there in a
talking
class?
about. Sorry, did I interrupt you? I was just saying that we were also talking about doing weekend batches and weekday batches, because there are 2 different kinds of people, and these different batches suit them. So right now we're also trying to see what kind of where do people really want to take these classes. If and if we have significant number in both, we'll run parallel classes on weekdays and weekend, 2 batches.
Okay, and what's the minimum or maximum number of people in a class?
Maximum, we're planning it, we want to restrict at 10.
Yeah.
We don't want
Oh,
to go beyond that. Maximum
okay.
would be 10. Anything below that is absolutely fine.
Yeah. Because these are live sessions, so I mean, if it's recorded, you can. There's no problem. But with live sessions, we want there are 10 people who will have questions, so it takes that much time to just take everybody through it, and that's the whole point. Because their recorded sessions are so many in the market, truly. Uh, but you don't know if you're learning. I mean, the teacher will not know if you're learning, and maybe after a point not even care if you're learning or not. It's a session you've already. So the whole point is that I wanted to keep it live so that there is that interaction.
Okay, sure.
Yeah,
All right. Thank you so much.
yeah.
Thank you.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you so much, Shirin. Thank you for participating. Yes, Richa. So, anything else we need to add?
No, I think that is all. Sri Divya, can you put a link of the website here where people can directly go and
The
pay?
moment I exit, they will be entering the website.
Oh, okay. All right. All
Because
right.
this session is going through the website, they will enter the website directly. So, nothing to.
Okay. Fantastic. All right.
Okay, then.
Okay, thank you so much once again for this platform. It was lovely talking to you once again, and people who attended. And I hope we'll have more such sessions soon.
Yeah. Maybe our timings today was a little offbeat. 4 p.m. is the offbeat time, I guess. So we
Mm-hmm.
will have more sessions. We will just see how people respond. And yeah,
Yeah.
but for today's session, I really am thankful, Richa, for taking out time from your busy schedule and adding so much value to this program. Thank you so much. And I also thank all the participants for being here and, for your time and patience. And we look forward to more participation from more people in future. And this session is available online for people who want to, who missed the session. So yeah, here thanking everybody for everything. And
All right.
yes,
Thank you. Yeah. All right.
okay.
Bye.
So
Thank
we
you.
will again all catch up. We will catch up with everyone in our course. So
Yes.
thank
See you.
you. Bye bye.
Bye.